All right, looks like we're live. It's very exciting to see that little countdown and go 10, 9, 8. It's like we're a real TV show.
It really is. It feels very pro.
Yeah, so hey everybody, I'm Gina D. I am sporting a new shirt I wanted to share with everybody. It's called Quarantine and Chill. Came from my nephew Brian had started a little fundraiser for some families in Las Vegas, and that's where I got it from. So I figured, hey, that's what we're doing, right? We're quarantining and we're chilling. And today I'm chilling with Maggie Cameron from the Hatch Rotisserie and Bar, and I'm super excited to talk to Maggie about all kinds of stuff. Hi, Maggie.
Hi, Gina.
How you doing today?
So good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited that you wanted to participate. You know, the Hatch is always one of my top of list places that I tell people about when they ask me, where's a good place to go? And I'm like,
thank you.
Go to the Hatch. It's one of the places that I consider to be the heart of Paso. Even though, you know, like several people I'm talking to, you guys are still relatively young for Paso Robles, right? Paso Robles for a while. We've got some places that have been in business for quite a while. But why don't you tell us a little bit about the Hatch and when you guys got started and really what your focus is?
Yeah, so my husband Eric and I started this restaurant. We opened up almost 5 years ago, June of 2015. And this has always been my dream. This is the only thing I've ever really wanted to do. So when it became a reality, we just kind of hopped right on it, and we loved this this space where we're in, and we loved the old historic building that that our little unit is a part of. So yeah, 5 years ago, when we set out to just be a rotisserie and bar, I mean, it was just like a comfort food joint. Nothing too fancy. We just wanted like great food and great cocktails, and sort of an easy joint, you know, kind of fine dining finishes on things, but certainly like very comfortable, very approachable. We wanted to be able to have a place that all of our locals and all of our visitors would feel comfortable in.
Yeah, and I think you guys have definitely achieved that. I love it. And people ask me, well, what kind of food is it? And I always just say, I said, it's a really great spin on comfort food. And they make fantastic signature cocktails. And
thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to want to talk more about that in a little bit. So the reason this all started is we want to know, obviously, how is the Hatch and you guys, how are you all dealing with this, and how have you pivoted your business?
Sure. Yeah, it's been nuts. I can't believe it's been almost a whole month. Actually, I think a month ago today, we were having our annual staff party, and we closed down the restaurant for the night. I think it was March 13th, and got everyone together and really just said, oh my God, this year has been amazing. Let's celebrate. And then 4 days later, we had to close. So for the first maybe week, it was very strange. I mean, it was still very strange, but the first week, it was crazy. I mean, the regulations were changing every day. You know, there was kind of different direction from all different angles. We were kind of hearing what we should do, what we shouldn't do, what's the what's the right protocol, what's, you know, and in the middle of this, we don't know if we're, if we stay open, are we putting ourselves at danger, in danger?
Yeah, a lot of questions at the beginning.
A lot of questions, yeah. So each day, I think we were changing the menu every day. We went from, half capacity in the dining room to, maybe we'll do some takeout, because we didn't do any takeout before this. And then we went full blown, this is it, takeout only.
And wait, Maggie, how long did it take you to get to that realization, takeout only? How many days?
I don't know. I'm in a blackout, Gina. This is like, I don't even know what year it is still.
Right? I know, it's weird.
Maybe inside of a week for sure. Maybe 3-4 days from the time, because it was right around St. Patrick's Day that the county came down and said no alcohol sales, which is just like brutal for all of the restaurant businesses, whether they're full bar or not. But from there, then we really just pivoted to takeout. And a couple days after that, we were able to add on cocktails with our takeout food, which was huge.
Talk about that for a second, because that is huge. At ABC. So can you explain just a little bit about how that works legally for businesses before and now.
Yeah. So before, it was totally permissible to, if you start drinking a bottle of wine at a restaurant, to stick a cork in it, and you typically want to have that bottle in your trunk or something like that, because it's an open container, and you could get in trouble if you're stopped while driving home. What the new regulation or new direction from the ABC said that they are going to consider cocktails that a facility makes. So a restaurant like the Hatch can mix a cocktail, put it into a container with a lid. So some sort of stopper or lid or something, just like a wine bottle with a cork in it. And you can send that home with people. And again, you just want to have that in your trunk or somewhere where, you don't have access, the driver doesn't have access to it. But it was amazing. I got a call from our bar manager first thing that morning, and she was like, "Hey, did you hear about this? Like, do you know what's going on?" This is Robin Wolf, who runs our cocktail program. And I think 3 hours later, she was up here making these big batches of cocktails that we could then portion out into small for people.
That's amazing. And, it just kind of shows too, this is something I love about Paso Robles is people like yourself and Eric, winemakers, everybody, right? We've got this great entrepreneurial spirit, and it's just like, what do we got to do? Let's just make it happen and just go for it. None of it
happen.
Just
Totally. When there's no opportunity to sit there and feel sad for yourself. I mean, we certainly did for a couple of days, but when you realize what an opportunity you have, and that you have to keep this thing going, there's no choice. There's no other work to be had. There's no shutting the doors and letting everything slip away when you've worked so hard. So you've got to figure it out.
Right. And then your employees. So how are you guys handling employees?
Yeah, that was probably the toughest part. And I think some of what sort of snapped us out of feeling sorry for ourselves, we had to, as most restaurants are in the same boat, we had to let go 95% of our staff just for a short period of time, hopefully a short period of time. It is temporary, but we just took almost everyone off the schedule immediately, and have added people back in as we've been able to.
Yeah. I just want to
trying to figure out what resources do we have? What resources can we give to our team to make sure that they hop right on, filing for unemployment. There are some good hospitality grants for people that work in this industry. So just anyone who found one of those would kind of share it with the group. And, it's not, the best we could have done, I'm sure, but I think the team is still in pretty close contact, and
good.
Well.
Yeah.
From afar.
Yeah, exactly. Some social distancing for sure. Just to say to our audience too, if anybody has a question or a comment you want to make for Maggie or myself, please just do that into the comments, and we will pull it up onto the screen. We can do that so we can see and answer that. Maggie, one of the things that I asked you about was one of the biggest changes, I guess, that we're going through for restaurants, and us, we rely obviously on a lot of visitors and a lot of tourism, but you said that one of the intentions behind the restaurant was to be a local joint, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think you even said it's really great to get back to that focus a little bit. Do you want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, never in our wildest dreams did we think we would be at a place in the middle of downtown Paso Robles, beautiful wine country, that our business would be supported 100% by the local community. And right now it is, which is, Gina, is the most humbling. We we wrote in our business plan for the Hatch that this was going to be a locals joint. And we wanted it to be a locals joint because we had been, studying restaurants that had done well in this community and restaurants that had not done well. And what we saw and what we appreciated as, new locals, but still people that have lived here for some time, that the places that are locals joints, like, Via Creek, Artisan, those places back in the day, those were certainly locals joints, but like all the restaurants, all the people in the local community would point tourists to them. If they had a good experience there, they would send everybody else. So if you've got your tourist or your local community set up as your bread and butter, then everything else is just, gravy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity with a mask and some gloves to come over last Friday and do a quick little video that I put together, and I'm going to share that right now. It looks like there is going to be a comment coming up here. While I get that ready, do you have a standard takeout menu, or does it change weekly? That's a great question from my wife. Okay. I didn't get to share with her.
She's watching it.
She's watching it, yeah.
My husband better be watching. So it changes sort of at the whim of the chef. We always have fried chicken, and that was something that we kind of set out to do when we created this cocktails and comfort food menu. But everything else kind of rotates, and so there's no set schedule right now. It's just we keep it updated on the website, and people can order just a couple days in advance if they wanted to.
Cool. Okay, so let's show people what we got here. And then we have this little video here. And there's no sound, so we could talk about it. How about that? No cars.
So crazy.
Right? So there's part of your menu that's changing. And those were your Easter orders. So
oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, the locals really came out in force yesterday on Easter Sunday. We did a good shot of fried chicken.
Yeah, and I took some of that home the other night, and it was amazing.
Great.
So your chef Corey's usually putting a lot of beautiful food on some beautiful plates, but right now the no boxes. And your amazing Brussels sprouts. You want to tell people what else we got here?
Cornbread with honey butter, chocolate cream pies.
Yeah, that chocolate cream pie was great. And this is pretty much how you do it, right? People wait out front, either by the front door, they could walk up or drive up.
You're normal.
Yeah, and this is your bars. You guys have a lot of beautiful fresh herbs and things you put in your cocktails. And your truck, are you able to use the truck right now?
No, the truck is taking up space on my front lawn right now. The event was devastated, and our thoughts go out to the people in the event world right now, or that had events planned, weddings, like that planned for this summer.
Yeah.
So sad.
Very sad. So this is an example of the cocktails to go, correct?
Yeah, those are our cocktails to go. I think that's the making for our salted maple black Manhattan on the left there, and then our barrel aged old fashioned is to the right.
And then is that fresh herbs in the little small containers?
In those are our garnish containers, and I believe in those would be Luxardo cherries and orange expresses for those two cocktails.
Nice.
So that people can just pour them over ice at home and garnish and go.
Put it in the bag and get it delivered to your car. Sounds like a good plan.
Not too bad, huh?
Yeah, right? So what do you think? Do you think that's something that's you're gonna be still doing then in the future?
Takeout in general?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how. I'm sure we'll be doing this for a while, even if it's in conjunction with the reopening of the dining room. But whatever we do, we want to do it really well. And the reason we didn't do takeout before was because we just didn't think our food, traveled perfectly. And if we couldn't fulfill every single order in a timely manner on a, Friday, Saturday night, then we weren't into it.
Yeah. So
Now our
you'll see.
standards are, a little different. So
Right.
we're like,
Right.
take it all day, baby.
Yeah. So
From
to
4 to
be
8.
determined really is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And as everything, right, we're learning to be super flexible, and every week if we have something different, we do something different.
Yeah. And you're right. The entrepreneurial spirit in this town is just incredible. And so people have really thought about things super creatively, and they're just making it happen. They're working hard. They're making it happen however they need to do it. And I think the businesses that are going to come out of this are coming out in fighting shape.
Yeah. So on that note of entrepreneurial spirit, Maggie, you got involved with something that's super cool. I'm really so excited about this idea. Can you please start to share with everybody about this concept called Feeding SLO Frontliners?
Yes. So Feeding SLO Frontliners is modeled after an organization that was doing kind of the same thing in the Bay Area and LA and New York, where somebody is raising funds to pay restaurants to feed frontline medical workers. And so this, in other cities, it really benefits, the very hurting, mostly impacted restaurant community. But it's really people in the community that want to, bolster the restaurants, but also feed these people. And it's not so much the food, it's like the thank you, like, hey, you're going to work every day, you're juggling the child care at home, you're juggling elder care, whatever it might be, all these things that are stressful during this time, but they're also going to work and putting themselves at the risk of getting infected by this virus. So we heard about this thing happening in bigger cities, and my friend Samantha Welch and Samantha is from Novo Restaurant down in SLO. She kicked off this GoFundMe to raise funds to do the same thing, and now I think we have close to 10 or 12 restaurants involved in this, and Samantha is starting to schedule all of the drop-offs for hospitals, medical centers, first responders. So SLO Ambulance, I know, is one of the beneficiaries. And it's just a way for people who don't need a gift card for themselves or don't need any more takeout food to really give back and say thanks to those people in our community who are putting it all on the line right now.
That's awesome. So I pulled up the Feeding SLO Frontliners Facebook page, and under the About section here, this is where the link is to the GoFundMe. So if we click on that, it's going to bring us to the GoFundMe page, and this is where you can contribute. And look, at you guys are up to 22,400.
Isn't it amazing?
That's fantastic.
It's so cool. It's so cool, and we'll keep updating our Facebook page when we start doing the drop-offs. Another really cool element of this that is very SLO County is that not only is this benefiting frontline medical workers, restaurants, it is also, we've asked that our member restaurants use local farmers or makers or producers of something. So, they're sourcing from local farms, or they're sourcing local meat, whatever it is, to tie in, because obviously our supply chain has been devastated as well. When restaurants aren't ordering, everybody suffers. So this kind of supports our local farmers as well. And Lynette from Farmstead Ed, that you can see there, she's doing a fundraiser right now at Nature's Touch to support these farmers and ranchers. And so they're donating a portion of their proceeds to Feeding SLO Frontliners as well. And she's helping connect our member restaurants with different farmers. And
that's
ranchers.
Amazing.
Super cool.
I think you froze up for a second here, on my end anyway. So I'm just going to let it run for a second here. There we go.
I can unplug it and replug it
for a second, but I think everyone else did, so I wasn't sure what the last thing is what you said.
I don't know, something awkward.
It's all right. It's live. It's fun. Yeah. So it looks like a lot of people here, and looks like bringing food to people at the public health department, things like that. This is great. This is really cool. So you said tomorrow is probably when. And is there a list of participating restaurants on the GoFundMe or somewhere?
Yeah, so we're keeping the GoFundMe updated with participating restaurants, and then as we start doing the drop-offs, we're going to have more of the social media, like pictures of the drop-offs, and our Facebook page updated with what farmers we're partnering with and all that as well.
Great, that's great.
Yeah, super exciting. And this was really, we coordinated it, but it was really a demand for, from the community. And luckily, SLO County is doing really well on this front. Like we're not as severely impacted, but there's still that element of added stress that these healthcare professionals have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So what we're hearing from some hospital administrators and people, as we contact them about the donations, they're just saying, it's a morale boost. It's not too crazy here, but it's a morale boost for everyone. And if we can do that once in a while, great.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. It is a morale boost, and that's part of it, is just bolstering each other, like you said, just showing each other how we care. And that's one of the reasons why I put this together, is so we can connect each other to each other, and support you, not only support you, but hear what you're doing to support others. And everybody I've talked to, it's really cool, because it's about, want to help you guys, but we're talking about how we're all helping each other. And that's one of the things that makes our town so great. And so I want to ask you, how are you doing, as you and Eric, as parents of two young children and a still very busy restaurant?
It's a new normal. It's a new normal. So, sometimes it's easier to split the kids up, and Lucy, our 4-year-old, will come into the restaurant with whoever's working, and she'll do some activities and hang out here, and maybe chef will make her a little bowl of chips or something. And then Alexander, our 2-year-old, will stay at home and run outside as much as we can make him blow off steam. So it's a hustle, but we're used to that. And honestly, I'm very, very fortunate to have a little extra time with my family. I mean, we've been home for dinner in the last month together more than we have ever. Since
you've both been in the restaurant business for forever, hospitality, right? So this got to be really, really unique, right? So you're there as late as the restaurant's open, or things like that, and you're there during the day, and maybe he's there at night, things like that.
Yeah, we do. We tag team a lot, so this is just a new form of that. And to all the parents that are homeschooling right now, when I think I've got it bad with these two little ones, I think about you. I think about the parents that actually have to homeschool, and
Yeah.
I just my hat goes off.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of interesting things. So what I think a lot of us talk about the silver linings. What are some silver linings for you? It could be personally and professionally, or whatever you would like to share. We would love to hear anything that you're experiencing.
I love to talk about silver linings. I always think you should look for the positive in every situation. And with this particular situation, we've had to dig deep because there's a lot of negatives. But it's something I've been thinking about a lot. And why I've been thinking about it is because I think that we have a big opportunity on the other end. I think we can we're going to have the ability to kind of say what our lives are like after this reset, if we can look at this as a reset. So, I mentioned being home with my family every night. I love that. Like, how can I build that into my life after this? I think that the non-consumerism, I haven't ordered anything on Amazon in a month, and you know what? I'm not lacking. I'm not, losing anything. I think, just learning how to do things a slower way. And for me, just things like cleaning out my pantry, using the things at the back of my pantry so I don't have to go to the grocery store.
Right? Yeah.
Of contentment, like I've done a good thing, and I can be creative. And I think that creativity as well, if we can just hold on to that and use it on the other side of this thing, I think we can really work together to carve a better future path for ourselves. So I think to look at this period as a lucky thing that happened in some respects.
Yeah, I am with you on all of those things. And for me, it gets back down to the heart of being in Paso, or the heart of any town. And I'm sure there's a lot of towns that are feeling the way we are. But, why did so many of us end up here in the first place? Is because, I came from a bigger city. I'm not sure what you guys did. But yeah, so it's like, yeah, oh yeah, that's right. That's why I came here in the first place. And as I've shared as well about how, we've been on the last 2 years, especially, I think Paso Robles we're on this trajectory like that, right? And it's great. I mean, it's wonderful that we've been able to make a really good living here and all of that. And I mean, we live in a beautiful area. We have incredible food, incredible wine, all these great things. But I have to say, honestly, I was getting a little bit like, oh my God, this year is going to be insane. And I know a lot of people were looking forward to that economically, but it's kind of nice to take a break, isn't it?
From that perspective, yes. You're absolutely right. I mean, the press that Paso Robles has gotten in the last year is just absolutely incredible. To have a wine writer from Wine Spectator sitting at my bar is just like the crowning achievement of my life. But, so we were looking at this summer as like, oh my gosh, it's just going to be gangbusters, right? And no, we're going to be rebuilding instead. And, I think there is like positives on both sides, but, this is where we are.
Yeah. And I think that brings us full circle back to the beginning of our discussion here on appreciating locals, and that, yes, these wonderful businesses can and are surviving on locals only, local business, and we're all taking care of each other.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, just from what we see when people are taking their to-go orders, I mean, these huge, like 50%, 75% gratuities that they're leaving because they know it's shared among the staff and they know it matters. So like when they can do it, they do it. And it's just incredible to see.
Wow, that's so good to hear. I'm so happy to hear that, Maggie.
So cool.
Well, let's see, we're running into about 30 minutes here. So is there anything else that you would like to share with anybody, whether it be about the business or anything else?
You know, I mean, we always say that we've got the best team in Paso Robles. I mean, we honestly have the best people working for us, and they're our little crew, and we miss them. But the people that are still employed here have been hustling right alongside me and Eric, you know, just doing whatever needs to be done to make sure the Hatch is here on the other side of this. And we just couldn't appreciate our Hatch family anymore.
That's awesome. And real quick, before I forgot, we shared your website, right, on how to order? Yeah, we did that.
No, we didn't.
I know we rehearsed it.
We did. We did a really good rehearsal.
We rehearsed it. So let me go grab that real quick before we cut out so people can see what they're going to be looking at on the website. So you've changed the main page to go right here to your takeout menu, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so there's the menu, and it's super simple to order. You just click on here, order online, or they could just call you up, right?
Yeah. Call the restaurant. I mean, you can order online 24 hours a day, but there are live bodies still here.
Cool. So if I wanted to order now or schedule it for later, I can start my order, and there's all kinds of stuff. Ooh, it looks like I just ordered chicken and dumplings.
Nice. Oh, you'll be so happy.
So you got everything in here. That's great.
Corey has done an excellent job with this menu. I mean, it's really, I mean, he took a kind of large menu and streamlined it down, and he did a great job.
That's awesome. You got a couple of comments here. Nice
Thanks,
job.
Maria.
And yeah, such good food, no doubt. Definitely. So, all right. Well, Maggie, thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you. We appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
So great to have the opportunity to talk about this.
It's my pleasure, really. And so from 4:30 till
4 to 8 every night.
4 to 8 every night. You can get some yummy food from the Hatch.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I just want to say a couple of things real quick before we cut out. I'm super excited that this is kind of taken off a little bit. People seem to be interested. So if anybody out there has a business, a organization, or anything that you would like to share within the community of Paso Robles, please reach out to me. If you know Maggie, reach out to Maggie. She knows how to get in touch with me. Also, we do have some people lined up who are ready for maybe this week. I know for sure we're going to talk to the general store. They do great things. Their business is running. We're going to talk to your neighbor, I think, Ian from Sam's Kitchen. Yeah. I've got Heart Chiropractic coming up as well. They're in Atascadero, but Dr. Hart, he's my chiropractor, and it is the heart of Paso, and I consider him to be one of the hearts of Paso. So anyway, everybody, quarantine and chill, and I'll see you soon. All right. Thanks, Anna.